On a quiet, star-filled night, a gentle current carried a tiny basket through the winding rivers of the jungle. Inside, a human baby slept soundly, unaware that his life was about to change forever. The basket drifted to a halt near the den of a lone wolf. With soft eyes and a careful nudge of his nose, the wolf discovered the child. He lifted the basket from the water, his instincts telling him this was a life worth protecting. The wolf brought the baby back to his family. The pack, at first surprised, quickly welcomed the small human into their fold. They called him Mowgli. He wasn't a wolf cub, but he was one of them now. He grew up running on all fours, his tiny legs trying to keep up with his furry brothers and sisters. He learned to leap over fallen logs and howl at the full moon, his small voice joining the chorus of the pack. The jungle was his playground, and the wolves were his family. Mowgli was never truly alone. He had two very special teachers who became his closest friends. The first was Baloo, a big, sleepy bear with a heart full of wisdom and a belly full of honey. The other was Bagheera, a sleek and silent black panther whose sharp eyes missed nothing. Together, they taught Mowgli the unwritten laws of the jungle. Now listen, little britches, Baloo would rumble, swatting playfully at a buzzing bee. The jungle provides everything we need. You must only take what you need. A handful of berries, a fallen fruit. Never be greedy. Mowgli, perched on Baloo's broad shoulders, would nod seriously, mimicking the bear's deep voice. Bagheera's lessons were different. He taught Mowgli to move like a shadow, to listen to the whisper of the wind, and to understand the language of the rustling leaves. Stay alert, Mowgli, the panther would purr, his tail twitching. Danger can hide in the prettiest flower or the quietest pool of water. To survive, you must see and hear everything. Mowgli, with his sharp young eyes and ears, was an excellent student. He learned to tell the difference between the call of a friendly bird and the warning cry of a startled deer. He could climb trees as nimbly as any monkey and swim as silently as any otter. He was a child of the jungle, fluent in its many secrets. But peace in the jungle is a fragile thing. A dark shadow was creeping back, a memory of fear that made even the bravest animals uneasy. Shere Khan, the great tiger with a fearsome reputation and an old grudge, had returned. His roar, a sound like thunder and fury, ripped through the trees, silencing the chirping birds and sending small creatures scurrying for cover. He appeared one day at the council rock, his striped coat burning like fire in the dappled sunlight. His eyes, full of anger, scanned the wolf pack until they landed on Mowgli. Humans don't belong here, he snarled. He sounded a low, menacing growl that vibrated through the ground. This jungle is no place for a man cub. He will bring nothing but trouble. The air grew thick with tension. The animals knew that Shere Khan's word was a threat, a promise of violence. Mowgli's happy world was suddenly under a dark cloud. Seeing the fear in the eyes of his friends, Mowgli felt a strange mix of anger and determination. This was his home. These were his family. He wouldn't let anyone, not even a powerful tiger, tear it apart. The wise old bear, Baloo, lumbered forward, placing a protective paw on Mowgli's shoulder. "We need a plan," he declared, his usually jolly voice now serious and firm. Bagheera stood beside him, silent and watchful, his muscles tensed and ready. The jungle was preparing for a fight. Mowgli, who had learned the art of thinking from Baloo and the art of observation from Bagheera, felt an idea spark in his mind. He remembered tales told by the older animals, whispers of a strange, bright flower that all creatures feared. "Let's use fire," he said, his young voice surprisingly steady. "Shere Khan is afraid of it. He calls it the red flower." A ripple of agreement went through the assembled animals. It was a daring idea, but it was their best hope. The jungle, once divided by fear, was now united by Mowgli's brave plan. It was an incredible sight. The great elephants, masters of brute force, began pushing over dead trees, clearing a path, and building a barrier. Troops of monkeys chattered excitedly as they swung from branch to branch, gathering strong vines and tying them together. Flocks of birds, big and small, took to the sky, their beaks filled with dry leaves and twigs, creating piles of kindling where Mowgli directed. It was a symphony of teamwork. Every creature, from the smallest mongoose to the largest rhino, played its part. They worked tirelessly, driven by a common purpose to protect their home and the boy they had all come to love. Mowgli, orchestrating the whole operation, felt a surge of pride. He wasn't just a man cub, he was a leader. As dusk fell, Mowgli ventured to the edge of the jungle, near the man village he had only ever seen from a distance. With a stolen pot and a spark from a lightning-struck tree, he captured the one thing Shere Khan truly feared. He returned not just as a boy, but as a warrior, holding a branch tipped with a blazing, dancing flame. The fire stick cast long, flickering shadows, and in its light, Mowgli's face was set with courage. He found Shere Khan near the river, waiting. The tiger sneered when he saw the boy. "You think you can face me, little man cub?" But then he saw the fire, and a flicker of fear entered his eyes. Mowgli stood his ground. He held the burning branch high. "Leave this jungle," he commanded, his voice echoing with a power he didn't know he possessed. "You are not welcome here anymore." Shere Khan lunged, hesitated, flinching back from the heat and crackling sound of the flames. He growled in frustration, swiping a clawed paw, but Mowgli was too quick. He danced around the tiger, using the fire as a shield and a weapon. The tiger, so used to being the one who inspired terror, was now the one who was afraid. With a final, enraged roar that sounded more like a whimper, Shere Khan turned and fled, disappearing into the darkness, his fear of the red flower greater than his hatred for the boy. A moment of silence, and then the jungle erupted in a roar of its own, a roar of victory and joy. Mowgli had done it. He had saved them all. Baloo rushed forward and scooped Mowgli up in a giant bear hug, twirling him around and around. "That's my boy," the bear boomed, his voice thick with pride and affection. Bagheera watched with a rare, soft smile, his golden eyes gleaming. From the trees and bushes, all the animals emerged, cheering for their small, brave hero. Mowgli was more than just a boy who lived in the jungle. He was proof that courage isn't about size, but about the strength of your heart. He showed that intelligence can be a greater weapon than claws or teeth. And most importantly, he proved that with the help of loyal friends, even the smallest child can stand up to the biggest bully and achieve great things. He was a bridge between two worlds, belonging to both the wild and to mankind, and the jungle would forever remember this story of the brave man cub who was one of their own. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Mowgli's adventure, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tales. We'll see you in the next video.